This show has been brought to you by Smith's Detection and the National Air Traffic Controllers Association.
My voice is the voice that guides you home safely each and every day.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
I am the voice of the safest and most efficient airspace in the world.
I have to be 100% of the time.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am a professional air traffic controller.
Hi, I'm Melissa Sabatine, and we're one-on-one in the studio with our friend Mike Salamone, manager of the Airport Cooperative Research Program. Hey Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, Melissa. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you as always. So for the folks who may be watching who are new to the airport industry, could you give us your elevator speech on exactly what ACRP is, what it does?
Sure. ACRP is a research program that is intent to try to find solutions that will help airports. We've published nearly 200 reports, and all of them are very applied oriented, so they're guidebooks and checklists and helpful ideas, survey results, all intent on trying to help airports do what they're doing better, more effectively, more efficiently.
Right, and who is involved in the ACRP?
Well, all of the ideas for the research projects that we do come from airports. We solicit volunteers to help us guide the project, and all of the publications that we produce are intent for airports as well. So it's all about airports.
Well, it's a really great program. AAA is very happy to be heavily involved with ACRP, which is why you're here today. And it's a great segue into what we really want to talk about today is the crux of the research, problem statements. And so that's the ideas that you get from the industry on what's needed and what we consider for funding. So can you talk about the next round of problem statements, how people submit them, and what happens from here?
Absolutely. We get $10 to $15 million that we use for funding each year, and all of the funding is geared towards solving problems that airports are experiencing. So we're looking for what those challenges are. So airports are, if they're experiencing some sort of a challenge, and they think that it might be suitable for an ACRP project, we would like to hear about that. So on our website, we have some guidance to help authors that want to write a problem statement or a research idea. And we want to encourage those, because between now and the middle of March, all of the solicitation for problem statements is open.
So can you maybe better define what is a good research idea? What would be something, because it might be, people might think, wow, there's a lot of things I would like to have done around the airport, but how do I know it reaches the bar of something that would be applicable for ACRP?
Yeah, well, if you're experiencing a problem that is not uncommon in the industry, something that perhaps is duplicated at other airports, that would be the first step. You need to write the idea in a way that would communicate to an airport person. So for example, for some of our associate members, if they're interested in writing problem statements, you really need to write it as an airport executive is the audience listening to and reading that. It needs to be relevant to airports. And of course, the more value, in other words, the more pressing the problem, probably the higher priority that we'll have. We don't need an awful lot, just basically a little bit of background as to what the problem is, maybe a bit of creative thinking as to what the solution might look like, guidance or a manual or resource or a spreadsheet or what have you. And that's basically it. You can guess what the funding cost might be or how long it might take to do the research, but that's not as important as just what is the crux of the problem and how will it affect airports.
So even if a guidebook idea, for example, if I'm an airport manager, a small airport, and I think, well, I really could use a resource to do X, or I wish I had something to give my operations team, that could be an idea too. It doesn't have to be something very, very
Right.
technical, right, of research or even a synthesis of information.
That's exactly right. I mean, we've done guidebooks that are as broad as an airport management guidebook for small airports. We've done air service development guidebooks. We've done marketing guidebooks. But then we've also done things about what are viable, sustainable practices, or perhaps how can you communicate with your community on noise issues. These are all basically things that airports are experiencing. We've also done spreadsheets, modeling. So for example, if you have land side on the terminal and you're trying to figure out how many lanes and what sort of configuration you need for the ground side, we have spreadsheet models that will help you actually do that. So there's a lot of different things, sometimes very focused, other times it can be very broad. It all depends on what do airports need, what are they experiencing right now. So right now what we're doing is we're looking for those ideas. And one of the things I've offered to do with AAAE's members is to host a teleconference so we could talk about some of those things and give some people that have ideas that they're not quite sure whether or not this might be an ACRP research idea. They can participate, and we can sort of flush it out a little bit on the phone call, and they in turn can turn around and write up the problem statement as a result of that.
Great, and we'll be scheduling those telcons in the next couple of weeks, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, if folks are confused about what's on the website, the template to write the problem statement, can they call you directly, or can your staff
Always.
walk them through it?
Yeah, always. There's a solicitation out on the website right now, and we've actually added quite a bit more detail than we've had ever before. So it's 5 pages worth of instructions to really help to understand how to write one and what happens to it after it's written. But if anybody has any questions, they're more than welcome to give any of us a call. And if they just want to talk it through on the phone, we'll be happy to do that as well. Again, the deadline is March 15th.
Okay, great. Anything else you'd like to add?
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Look forward to the telcons.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. Please follow the link on your screen to learn more about ACRP and to submit your own problem statements. I'm Melissa Sabatine, and we'll see you next time.